Good morning and welcome into another edition of Wolo and Friends. Last night we had some great baseball games, and what better way to start a baseball game than with a home run? And that's exactly what the Blue Jays did last night with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in the top of the first last night for the Blue Jays and the Yankees in their Game 3 matchup, which was a big game for the Yankees. Blue Jays, to this point, had put on a hitting clinic. I mean, they have put up so many points over these Yankees. You would think that this series is done. I would say at this point, I would say that it is done because there's no way that the Blue Jays are going to lose 3 straight games and give them away to the Yankees. Sure, Yankees might get another one on them, but with how well the Blue Jays are hitting, how well that they're doing in the field, I just can't see that happening. But last night, Vladimir Guerrero got everything kicked off really well with the 2-run home run. And since 1969, Vladimir Guerrero has become just the second player in MLB history with a home run and multiple RBIs in his first 3 postseason games. The first one, Darian, can you guess who it was? In 1969, this is going to, I don't want to say it's more your wheelhouse, but it's definitely way before my time. But do you have any idea who was the first person?
Hold on. There we go. Can I phone the stats? Phone a Brett Stats Newsworthy. No.
I'm sure he could get you right off the bat. The first person was Hank Aaron in 1969. He did it with what was then just moved to Atlanta Braves. Before that, they were the Milwaukee Braves. But he did this with technically the Atlanta Braves at that time. But then anyways, after that, we get a closeout of a strikeout at the top of the first. And then in the bottom of the first, Yankees struck back with Giancarlo getting an RBI single, making the game 2-1. Then we fast forward to the top of the third inning where Dalton would amend his strikeout that he got chasing at the end of the first with an RBI double off of a sliding attempt from the fielder. I believe it went through his glove or went through his body or something like that. Couldn't make the catch. So he made amends there, putting the scores up. Jays were now up 4-1. And the top of the third is just where all the fireworks for the Blue Jays just went crazy. Ernie Clement Jr. gets a single to bring home Varsho with some terrific base running as well. The dude went airborne, sliding into home plate, flew through the air, got home, was absolutely safe. Puts them up 4-1. Top of the third, Anthony Santander would bring home 2 more runs with a single, and the Blue Jays would seem to be in control, running away with the game at this point.
And then it happened.
But to quote the great Lee Corso, I'm bringing Lee Corso in, the Yankees said, "Not so fast." Put a stop to it. Little did the Jays know that their 6-1 lead would be their final scoring of the night as the Yankees lit off and did not stop. Aaron Judge got the party started in the bottom of the third with an RBI double, and then Giancarlo had a sac fly to make it 6-3. And then in the bottom of the fourth, Aaron Judge, the man who previously has had some struggles in the postseason, steps up to the plate and just
as they said on the broadcast last night, he had his October moment.
He did. He absolutely did.
And he brought his glove with him yesterday, too.
He did, and I was about to get to that as well. But Aaron Judge, deep home run, deep into left field to light it up. And this was Aaron Judge's 6th home run in an elimination game when he's faced an elimination game. And he ties only one other player in MLB history to do so. You have any idea who this is? This guy's a little bit more recent.
No, go for it.
David Ortiz.
Okay, Big Papi, okay.
Yeah, so the only 2 guys in history to hit 6 home runs when facing elimination in the MLB playoffs. That's absolutely incredible. But in the top of the 5th, Aaron Judge, as you just mentioned.
Off the foul pole.
Also wanted to show off his glove a little bit. I call it somewhat of a diving catch. He kind of fell into it. When you have a diving catch, you kind of lay out. Looks a little bit more athletic. Not to say that Aaron Judge is not athletic at all, but
hey, Goliath can catch too.
He can. That's a very large man out there going for a ball, but made a really great play out of that. But in the bottom of the 5th, Jazz Chisholm. I mean, there's nothing. I would say there's nothing more defeating as a pitcher than to see the ball leave the bat and the batter just say, "I know it's out of here." Like, that's it. It's done. Whatever. As soon as that ball left the bat, Jazz knew I could take the rest of the night walking these bases because nobody's getting this ball. With that score, ball was gone into deep middle right, 7-6 Yankees, and then Austin Wells wanted to also join the party with an RBI single that Ben Rice would conclude the night scoring with the sac fly, ending the game in an incredible comeback for the Yankees, going 9-6 in that game. The Mariners and Tigers, on the other hand, kind of had a little bit of a slower start. J.P. Crawford hit a single and a base single, and based on a costly error in the top of the third from the catcher, ball was coming in, went straight through his legs, couldn't get anything. They get a run scored off of an error there. Then Randy Arozarena.
I got you, buddy.
Arozarena. That's why I have you there. The first half of his word means rice in Spanish. That's arroz. You're welcome for that. He gets himself an RBI single, puts Seattle up 2-0. Top of the fourth, Suarez gets a solo home run, and then the big dumper started to get to work. Cal Raleigh got back to work with an RBI single of his own, and to leave the fourth, we have a 4-0 lead. Mariners seem to be running away with this thing. Detroit didn't strike back until the bottom of the fifth, where a fielder's choice RBI was awarded to Kerry Carpenter's hit. A little bit of confusion on the field, throw to first. He kind of stumbled with it. I believe it dropped out of his glove. Then he was going to try to palm it, but it eventually hit the ground. Guy was safe at first, got a run in. And then we advance all the way into the sixth, where J.P. Crawford gets back up to the plate, gets a solo home run. Then the ninth arrive, and Cal Raleigh hits his first postseason home run to date. Dude was a home run machine all throughout the year, and now he's continuing his ways there. I mean, for a catcher to do something like this is unreal. Not heard of before. This dude, in my mind, you got to give him MVP. At least top two with him, maybe Aaron Judge based on the performance he had last night. But for a catcher to be doing this at this level of play, it's truly incredible. But the Tigers at this point had a little fight left in them. Spencer Torkelson got a 2-run home run, making it 8-3, followed by Ibanez's RBI single. But that was the end of their efforts, as Josh Naylor, the first baseman, got himself an unassisted double play to cap off the game and conclude it. Both series are now at 2-1. Toronto with the advantage, Seattle with the advantage. It's going to be some good baseball. Tune into these guys. It's going to be good.
Right now, stand on the hill. Who do you have winning these series at 2-1? Stand on it.
Who am I for?
Who are you for?
Seattle and Toronto.
I got you.
And you can check Sports Time. We made these picks before these teams were up the way that they are now. So this is not, bias. This is not favoritism, even though it is, because I just said that these are the teams that I'm for. But Darian, it's Wednesday. Do you know what that means?
What does that mean, sir?
It means we have college football tonight. That's sarcasm. I speak fluent
very,
sarcasm.
Very much so.
Yes.
I thought it was Meatloaf Wednesday at the house, but I got you.
No, it's not that. We do have college football tonight. Is it a great slate? No. Between the four teams that are playing, they have a total of 5 wins between them. Not a very entertaining slate. I would not say that these are the most anticipated games of the season. You've got Missouri State taking on Middle Tennessee State on ESPN2 at 6:30 tonight, and then you have UTEP taking on Liberty. Both teams 1-4, 7 o'clock on CBS. And if you want to gamble on these games, don't ask me. I'm not the gambler, but I know someone who is, and he's going to be coming up on the next show. That's Johnny Radio with Happy Hour. Tune into him. I'm sure he'll love to bet on these games. He'll give you all the information and details that you want. But if you're wanting to look at these games and want to be locked in, need I remind you that UTEP kind of had a showing against what's now kind of being seen as a fraud of a good team in Texas. UTEP held Texas to just 7 points for a majority of the first half in their game that they played a few weeks ago, and only ended up winning that game. Texas only ended up winning that game by 17 points. Darren, do you remember what the line for that game was?
At least 21, right? 21 and a half? More than that?
Double that. It was 40 and a half. And safe to say, UTEP covered that game. Does that mean that UTEP is a good team? No, they're 1-4. This is not going to be an exciting slate. But if you've just been itching and you've wanted so bad and you could not wait for MACtion on Thursday, you could not wait for the Friday night games for college football to return, your prayers have been answered because we have college football tonight. It should be at least an interesting watch, to say the least. But as we sit here in the Family Leisure Studio with an incredible spa sale that is going on right now, you've heard all the details. Lots of spas on sale. You get a free umbrella, which I've heard Dave say many times.
I need
Those
one.
umbrellas, they're not cheap. And if you capitalize on these deals, you get one for free. It's gonna be amazing. But whether or not Dave is here, the times they're still a changing.
It's time for Dennis on Dave. Dennis on Dave. Dennis on Dave.
Welcome to Dennis on Dave.
It truly is time for Dennis on Dave. Dennis, welcome to the show.
It's Dennis on Landon.
Dennis on Landon today. Yes, love it.
Well, first off, you can't count what Aaron Judge did last night in the MVP voting. That's regular season voting. So that doesn't count. But you got to give it to Cal Raleigh.
Yes, for sure.
For a lot of different reasons. I don't know if you know this. Cal Raleigh, it was the only catcher in Major League Baseball this year that did not allow a passed ball.
That's incredible.
Not one ball got past Cal Raleigh. And when you look at Raleigh, he doesn't look like an athlete at all.
No.
And now that's the case with a lot of baseball players.
Yeah.
But a lot of baseball players don't look like athletes. But this guy looks like he should be, I don't know, selling
like,
you a waterbed or something.
He's an average Joe out there.
You know, he's rocking the solo.
Uh-huh.
He's got a little bit of a double chin. Mm-hmm. He's just doesn't look like an elite athlete. And yet, I mean, an incredible year. I think he is MVP. Absolutely.
I would agree. Yeah.
And did you see who caught the home run last night from him?
The only Mariners fan in the sea of those people.
Who was literally wearing a jersey that said, hit 61 here.
That was perfect.
And he hit 61 right to the guy who then peeled it off and already had hit 62 here jersey loaded up for the next time Raleigh comes up to the plate.
That's great.
Absolutely. Vlad Guerrero, the first Blue Jay in history to homer in 4 straight playoff games. Never been done before.
Yeah.
And the Yankees last night were only the 5th team in baseball history to overcome a 5-run deficit in an elimination game.
That was truly a weekend of comebacks.
It was amazing.
Even in the NFL. I mean, it was everywhere.
It was a great weekend of football in the NFL. Now, of course, because I don't know why, but we get the Cowboys and the Titans.
Yeah.
Every weekend, that's the feed we get. Despite the fact that I know a lot of Cowboys fans. I only know like 2 Titans fans.
Well, now you know 3.
You're a Titans fan? I was doing sports on I want to say Rock 103, and the Titans were getting ready to play the Jets, and it was a meaningful game.
Yeah,
and
must have been a while ago.
It was. This is a long time ago, and I had a guy from New York, a radio guy from New York, call me and say, "Yeah, I'd like to get your take on the Titans." And I said, "Well, I can give you the number of a couple of sports guys in Nashville who have an opinion about the Titans." But people in Memphis really don't have an opinion.
Well, I have several opinions about the Titans.
Most of which I'm sure are frustration.
Oh, yes, of course. And it all started with the departure of the big 3, A.J. Brown, Derrick Henry, and Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
I mean, Brett Stats Nordsworthy on Sports Time has mentioned this many times. Most programs can't even survive off of one big guy leaving. We had 3.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be feeling the effects of it for many years to come.
I did, of course, because you don't really have a choice here. I did watch a lot of the Cowboys game this weekend, and everybody's getting real worked up about the Cowboys, the 2-2-1 Cowboys.
2-2-1 Cowboys.
Now I will admit that Dak has been playing really good football.
They're a very good offensive team.
No, Dak is playing good football.
He is.
Nobody else on the Cowboys is playing good football. Dak is playing good football, and great, good for him.
Right.
But there's not another elite player on either side of the ball
and you
on
would
the Cowboys.
You would expect it to be George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, but they've been underperforming.
Well, CeeDee's hurt.
Yeah.
They don't have an elite player on the team anymore.
And what I was making reference to was week 1, CD's costly 3 drops in that game. I mean, that's not what you expect.
Well, when you look at the Cowboys, I mean, they lost the Eagles, who do not look like a particularly good football team right now.
No.
They barely beat the Giants, who lost to the Saints this weekend.
Yeah,
so they really suck. They beat the Bears, but barely. And the Bears are not nearly as good as we thought they were going to be.
No.
They've beaten. So the Cowboys have beaten 2 teams, and both of them stink. They've beaten 2 bad teams. I don't know why everybody's like, this is it. The Cowboys have turned
America's
the corner.
team.
No, it's not. I really think the Saints are America's team because they just suck. I'm a Saints fan. I've been a Saints fan all my life.
Well, that's
and
fair.
It's just like, look, hey, it's a party team.
Yeah.
They kind of stink. That's the team should pull for.
Let's just have fun. Let's go out there and have fun.
And during the game, Jerry Jones inadvertently flipped off the Jets fans.
I don't know how you inadvertently do that.
It's going to cost him $250,000 because he said, I was trying to do a thumbs up.
Oh, yeah.
If you can't differentiate between your thumb and your middle finger, I don't think you should be running an NFL franchise.
I don't think so. Well, there's been a lot of other things that put that into question, but certainly that just adds to the list.
Have we ever wasted more breath on any topic than the Browns quarterback situation?
I think that's been a topic that's gone on way too long.
We talk about it all the time, and nobody cares. I mean, the Browns are so bad. They may not win another game this year, and they've now traded Joe Flacco to the Bengals. That's going to solve the Bengals' problems.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you're really having a problem as a team, what you want is a quarterback who's been benched by the Browns.
Yeah.
That's a quality player.
And
that's the guy that you want.
And who has had no success after the Ravens.
Yeah.
He got the Browns to the playoffs.
That was the only thing. He went 4-1, and then the next year, I believe, he left to the...
Oh, where did he go?
It wasn't the Broncos, right? I think he went Browns, back to Browns. And the Broncos, I believe, he went 1-4.
Oh, he was terrible.
And he was terrible. Then went back to the Browns and is already this far into the season. He's been benched.
In the 3 games since Burrow went down, the Bengals have been outscored 104-16. And the only offensive touchdown they have, they were already down 45 to the Vikings. That is bad.
That was a consolation prize there.
I mean, Cincinnati has issues on all 3 sides of the ball.
They do.
But their problem is the front office. That's the problem with the Bengals. They won't spend money. If you don't have a left guard that can play, then your right-handed quarterbacks are always going to get hurt. Mm-hmm. I guess it's really low-hanging fruit to pick on Mark Sanchez, but he's finally done something that will be referred to other than the butt fumble.
Yeah.
I mean, there is something else that's going to be talked about.
Well, you say that, and I remember going on Twitter and seeing all the posts and stuff, and people are still...
Comes right back up.
Still posting the gifs of, this was the guy.
Well, we're never going to forget that. He took the Jets to the AFC Championship his first 2 seasons in the NFL.
And yet nobody will remember.
And he's a joke. And he's the butt fumble. And now this is... there's a lot of stuff to make fun of here, but he clearly really has a problem.
Yeah.
This wasn't just alcohol.
It went from prayers up to Mark Sanchez to now, what an idiot. I can't believe.
I just want to know where on earth in Indianapolis he got his hands on LSD, because he really seems like he might have been tripping. I mean, or it could have been meth. Yeah. It could be meth. I'm not kidding. I mean, the guy could seriously have, really seriously have a problem.
There's, clearly something more there.
Yeah, there's something going on. Speaking of problems, this drives me crazy. The Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon apologized to Amari DiMercato after yelling at him when DiMercato dropped the ball.
Cost them the game.
Yeah, he cost them the game. That was a 70-yard touchdown.
72-yard touchdown run that was
team
all for naught.
Never gets. That team never gets a play that long. He drops the ball on the 1-foot line. The coach screams at him, ends up apologizing to him, ends up apologizing to the team, and ends up getting fined $100,000 by the Cardinals. If you can't yell at a player for doing something that incredibly stupid, you can no longer, as a coach in the NFL, yell at any player.
Yeah.
You can't fine a coach for yelling at a player for doing something stupid. It's the NFL, for God's sake.
And the allegation that they want is that he made contact with him, like slapped his arm on the way over. And
he should have slapped his head.
Exactly. And I'm sitting there. He
should have gone Woody Hayes on him.
You think, as a coach, what are you supposed to do in that situation? Go over, console him, say, "Oh, it's okay."
And some
buddy.
of his
Get him
teammates
next
were.
time.
Some of his teammates were like, "Dude, you're okay."
He had his head down.
Don't blame
he was
yourself.
All pouting.
Yes, blame yourself.
Yes.
We're all blaming you.
How many videos do we have to see of players dropping the ball on the 1 yard line for us to learn that that's never going to work? I mean, it's the fundamentals of football. You finish your run. You finish through whatever's doing it. And Brett made a good point. You look at any highlights from Derrick Henry, Earl Campbell, Eddie George, any of these great running backs, show me a video of them fumbling the ball before they enter the end zone. You won't find it.
And I don't even know if you can call this a fumble. He just dropped the ball.
He just let it go. He thought, well, I did my work.
I mean, you kind of think
yards.
a fumble would involve a defensive player. But no defensive player was
one
involved in
causing
this. He just dropped the ball because he's an imbecile.
I will give a little bit of credit to L'Jarius Sneed, who was running right there with him.
He was right there on it, but he didn't touch it.
But he didn't make any contact with it. This was 100% him just
nothing to do with
releasing
it.
And now we get a $100,000 fine because a coach was disciplining a player. I don't agree.
It's insane. The most exciting game of the week, by far, the Jaguars game.
Absolutely, I agree. Yeah.
Unbelievable. I really believe that if Urban Meyer had not gone to experiment for 1 year with the NFL at the Jaguars and demolished that program, Trevor Lawrence would have been in the MVP conversation every year of his career. But Urban Meyer almost broke him.
Yeah.
Because he didn't know how to coach in the NFL.
No, not at all.
And as a side note, after the first game of the season, Dave thought that I was being a little premature in judging Bill Belichick as a college football coach after a 47-point loss. He was like, "That's your sample size? You're just going to go from one game?" And I said, "Yes, I'm going from one game." Well, I think now that he's lost 3 games by 25 or more points, that's a big enough sample size to say Bill Belichick can't coach college football.
No.
Urban Meyer couldn't coach in the NFL. Bill Belichick can't coach in college.
No.
Now as they are getting closer and closer to being the same thing, college football and pro football, because college football is pro football now.
Now it is.
But they are still two separate animals to some degree, and you have to have the right skill set. But Trevor Lawrence, absolutely incredible.
Do you think that the Jaguars are for real right now at 4-1?
I'm starting to think so. What I love about that last play is Trevor Lawrence was just trying to get up so he could throw the ball away.
He was looking for somebody and said he couldn't find it.
He was just going to throw it away. He just wanted to stop the clock. They didn't have any timeouts. And he's like, "Oh, wait." He falls down twice. His right guard steps on his foot, falls down twice, stands up. He wants to throw the ball away and goes, "Oh, no, I know what I'll do. I'll score a touchdown and win the football game." I really like Trevor Lawrence. I always have. I've thought over the years that he's gotten screwed. So I'm very happy for him. And I do think the Jaguars might. Well, first off, that division is going to help.
It's kind of, well, I don't want to say it's on the up and up because AFC South is still really bad. But this past weekend, AFC South went 4-0 in their games.
They played good football.
And two of those games, Titans and the Jaguars games, were both 10-point comebacks in those games. I mean, that was incredible. But on that last play as well for the Jaguars, a lot of people called into question Chris Jones' effort because if you saw him,
I think Jones honestly believed Lawrence was down. I think he thought he was down. So he's like, I think he thought the play was over.
I think you have to look at it that way because surely the highest paid defender on this Chiefs defense is not going to stand around and watch.
Jones is arguably the best player on that team.
I would agree.
And I think
right now,
I believe he thought Lawrence was down, and so he thought the play was over. Let's get this over with. The Colts are not going to win the Super Bowl, and Daniel Jones is not going to be MVP.
He's high in the race right now.
They've beaten the Dolphins, the Broncos barely, the Titans, and the Raiders. Those are 4 bad football. The Broncos are getting better, but they are. At the time, they were pretty bad. Those are bad teams. The only real team they played were the Rams, and they lost.
They did.
They've got a lot of tough games coming up. The Colts are not going to be meaningful. later in the season. Good for Daniel Jones, but he's not going to be MVP.
Well, and I think that's the thing too. Is Daniel Jones is? I believe he's going to look good for the first half of the season, but then in the second half of the season,
because they had a soft ass schedule for the first half.
Well, and at that point, teams are figuring out your tendencies. Teams know how you play. They're studying the film. They understand what you do, and I think he's going to start to falter off right there. But right now, I'm enjoying riding the Indiana Jones hype right now.
I do like that. I wish I'd thought of that. I mean, I can't believe nobody thought of it for 5 weeks. That suddenly somebody goes, "Oh, Indiana Jones,
Indiana Jones,"
and now that's all anybody's been saying for the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
And the big event that everybody's really looking forward to, the Taco Bell Ultra Marathon.
Tell us about that. I've not heard about it.
It's a 50-kilometer marathon, so it's about 31 miles. A kilometer's about 3/5 of a mile.
Right. Yeah.
They run 30 miles, and they have to stop and eat at a Taco Bell 9 times. And they actually have to eat. It's codified. It can't be a drink. They can't stop in for a Pepsi. They have to eat something off of the Taco Bell menu. They have to eat in the course of this at least one burrito and at least one chalupa. In the course of running 31 miles, they have to eat at Taco Bell 9 times. The finish line is going to be very exciting in the Taco Bell Ultra Marathon, because they're going to be moving by the time they hit that finish line. They're going to be in a hurry.
Wow. I don't know whose genius idea that was.
Taco Bell.
I guess you got to market some way. You've got the Live Moss student section for college. So what's the next best thing? Let's have a 31-mile run.
Well, when we see the repercussions of eating at Taco Bell 9 times in one day, forget the running 31 miles.
Well, yeah, in one day. That's a great point, too. You can count me out on that. And that's coming from somebody who actually enjoys Taco Bell from time to time.
I love some Taco Bell.
That midnight Baja Blast, whew, it's to die for. But
that's living.
That's living Moss, isn't it? And I guess those people in that little run will be doing that as well. But that is our good friend Dennis giving us the world of sports, giving us the updates. Thanks, Dennis. That was a lot of fun. Good updates. A lot of crazy things happening in the world of sports. So glad to be able to talk with you. On the other side, we're going to be bringing in our good friend Joe Dank, who's going to be talking about the business side of sports, looking at the numbers, the production, talking about all things sports. That's coming your way next on Wolo and Friends.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
You know what I love about Central Barbecue?
They pay you to do their radio commercials.
Well, yeah, but what I really love about Central Barbecue is I'm proud to do their radio commercials.
Really? You should put more effort into it.
I'm proud to represent the very best barbecue in Memphis, and therefore the best barbecue in the world. Wait, what'd you say?
Nothing. I'm proud to do the Central Barbecue ads, too. Believe me, I've done some ads for companies that really weren't the very best in their business.
I know the ones you're talking about.
No, you don't. That was a long time ago.
If you say so. But doing ads for Central Barbecue means being able to say, honestly, it's a great product at a great price.
With lots of great locations. Everything today is technologically based. Well, except maybe you. If you're struggling with tech, no matter what kind, call Tech For You. Tech For You for TVs, home theaters, cameras, smart locks, digital storage, and more. Tech For You makes it simple and affordable. Call 697-9695. Make your home safe, comfortable, and up to date with Tech For You. Stop struggling with tech. Call 697-9695. Veteran-owned and operated Tech For You. Technology simplified.
Are you facing an unexpected financial emergency? You need WeFixMoney.com. WeFixMoney.com could help you get up to $5,000 fast. WeFixMoney.com is free to use, available 24/7, and has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. Go to the name you trust, WeFixMoney.com. If you need emergency cash up to $5,000 for bills or anything else, type WeFixMoney.com directly in your browser. That's WeFixMoney.com. WeFixMoney.com.
On big game days, you want big game food, flavor, and fun. So on big game days and every day in between, you want Salt Sports Bar and Bistro. Salt has it all. Great happy hour food, great cocktails, and great games on 21 HD TV screens. You can also enjoy your favorite match on the patio with cigars and sports in the open air. Open for lunch and dinner from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Salt Sports Bar and Bistro, 3101 South Mendenhall Road. Salt Sports Bar and Bistro, where great food meets the big game.
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
Welcome back into Wolo and Friends. I am not the voice of the Tigers. My good friend Darian has alerted me that I have not introduced myself. I'm Landon. This is not Dave Woloshin. Well, I guess Dennis made the mention that this is
Dennis on Landon.
Yeah, that this is. No, am I good? Oh, my headphones went out. That's what's going on here. Oh, there we go. That this was Dennis on Landon today. That was really fun. But before we get with the business of sports and Joe Dank, I wanted to let you guys know that we are sitting in the Family Leisure Studios and that you can join in with the Sissy's Log Cabin text and listener line at 901-360-8255. In today's last segment, we don't have a guest, so Darian and I, what we're going to do is we are going to give our top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL right now, who we believe are the top 3 NFL quarterbacks. And I want you, text in, give me your list. Who do you think are the top 3 QBs performing in the NFL right now? You can text that in 901-360-8255. I'd love to get your list, love to see what you guys think. Get a general consensus of who we think is the top dogs in the NFL right now as far as it goes with the quarterback play. But right now, we're going to bring in our guy, Joe Dank, who used to be the director for ABC 24. He's going to give us all the numbers about what's been going on in the world of sports right now. The MLB playoffs are in full swing, and he's going to give us the numbers. Joe, welcome into the show. What can you tell us about these MLB ratings right now?
Well, good morning, Landon. Good to be with you. Look, the wild card series that just concluded were really record-setting. You know, this format has been in place for several years, but this year was the best television rating performance of those wild card series. Now, they were each game averaged 4.6 million viewers. That is an increase of 64% over the previous year.
Wow.
Now, there were some real keys in favor of ESPN generating some big numbers off of this, not the least of which was 3 of the series went to a win-or-go-home game 3, so those always draw more attention.
Yeah.
But perhaps even more importantly is those series included the Yankees, Dodgers, and Cubs. Those are the top 3 TV markets in America.
Oh, absolutely.
When you add the Red Sox, who were also playing in the series, now you're talking about 4 of the top 10 TV markets in America, and then you bring in Cleveland and Detroit, and all of a sudden, of the 8 teams, 6 of them were in top 20 TV markets. So that helps explain it, but nevertheless, it was good for baseball. The competition was good. It was good for ESPN. The Game 3, Yankees and Boston, did just under 7.5 million. That's the most watched wild card game under this current format that they've had. So that was really incredible. And perhaps here's the most interesting thing. You know, a lot has been said about baseball and its potential failure to keep up with the younger generation and younger viewers. It's always considered perhaps a game that appeals to older guys. I say that myself as a man of a certain age. But this year, the baseball viewers in these wild card series, viewers under 35 increased by 89% over last year. So that's a huge number.
What do you think was a major attributor to really honing in on that younger audience?
baseball continues to try to do things to appeal to a younger audience, and one of the biggest was really changing the pace of play and getting the games in a more compact time period, and I think that has helped baseball.
Yeah.
And then you just had, again, I think this was kind of a planetary alignment because you had those three teams from the big markets, and then you have some of the biggest names. Obviously, Ohtani was playing, Aaron Judge was playing.
Yeah.
And, those are guys that young people follow clips on their telephones and see those guys on a regular basis. So I think that counted.
Yeah, for sure.
One other noteworthy element of this, though, was you may be familiar that, ESPN opted out of its current deal with baseball, and the result of that was that this was the last time that the wild card series and baseball postseason will appear on ESPN, at least for the next several years until perhaps there is a new contract. So ESPN goes out of baseball, but they certainly go out on top with a huge, huge wild card series.
Yeah, they absolutely do, and I think moving forward, because we know in today's day and age, I mean, you look at all the platforms that sports are now being streamed on. Do you think going forward, these playoffs, I mean, the obviously regular season games, how much do you think is going to be transferring over to streaming platforms in comparison to maybe ESPN or live TV?
Well, so here is the interesting thing. So ESPN opted out. Baseball went and sought new partners. And the piece that ESPN had has been divided now up in different ways. But next year, according to reports, baseball hasn't formally announced it, but everyone believes this is in place, and the commissioner has referred to it in public, is that the Sunday night baseball piece and this wild card series piece goes to NBC. So rather than going to a streamer, it's going to go to free over-the-air broadcast television, and it'll be seen on NBC stations around the country. I do think the interesting thing of this is NBC has really decided to make Sunday night year-round sports now, because they add the baseball piece next year. In a few weeks, the basketball piece will begin with the NBA on NBC, and that's going to be Sunday Night Baseball, and that kicks in right after Sunday Night Football ends. So all of a sudden, we have Sunday Night Football, Sunday Night Basketball, and Sunday Night Baseball on NBC. So NBC's all in on an over-the-air basis with sports.
And I remember hearing you talk with Dave last week that NBC has been doing really well as far as viewership for all of their sports. So it seems like that continued success going forward is definitely right up NBC's alley. I know with Major League Baseball hitting on all cylinders, great to hear that their numbers are way up. What do you have on minor league baseball, specifically for the Memphis Redbirds here?
Well, so look, attendance figures. TV is not a significant part, obviously, of minor league baseball, but the big driver on minor league baseball is people actually attending games. And while Memphis this year did have an increase in attendance, and actually a fairly decent one, they were up over 8% in attendance this year, and that occurred while minor league baseball overall was minus 2.9%. So they are up in a down market. But nevertheless, and unfortunately, I think for the Redbirds, is out of the 30 AAA baseball teams in America, they rank 29th in overall attendance at just over 200,000 fans for the entire season, and that's an average just below 3,000 fans. And so here's some perspective on that. The number one team in attendance in AAA baseball is Lehigh Valley. Now, that is in Allentown, Pennsylvania, Lehigh Valley. But they drew over 500,000 fans and averaged over 8,000 fans per game. Wow. So when you start talking about 8,000 versus just under 3,000, that is not an insignificant gap.
No.
And another interesting element of this is, I mean, if we just look at market rankings, DMA rankings, Memphis is the 51st ranked market in America. Lehigh Valley is 74th. So
wow.
Memphis, a much bigger market
Yeah.
than Allentown, Pennsylvania, and baseball, a much more popular product there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the, this is interesting to me only because, people have talked about this a lot since yesterday. Penny Hardaway again addressed the attendance issues for Memphis basketball.
Yeah.
This comes at a time where Memphis minor league baseball, as I said, 29 of 30 AAA teams, and it was made official this week that the UFL football team is gone from Memphis. And we all know the attendance woes that team suffered in its years of existence.
Yeah.
So this is a recurring challenge here in Memphis.
Is. Yeah.
And we have an undefeated football team at the University of Memphis, now ranked in America and unable to draw over to get to 30,000 fans. So the question just simply becomes, what will it take?
Mm-hmm.
What will it take for Memphis sports fans to buy tickets?
Yeah.
Don't forget, we lost the soccer team last summer, right? Because of attendance and ballpark issues as well. So none of this goes away anytime soon. And then I also bring up one other thing in the context of the Memphis Redbirds, and that is that the city is continuing to look at a $55 million renovation plan of AutoZone Park.
Mm-hmm.
And so the question becomes, is attendance in bad shape because the ballpark is in bad shape? Or is a $55 million investment in a product that does not appear to be popular in the community a good idea for the city?
Yeah,
I don't have a position on that, but I think those are two viable points to ponder.
I agree with you. I think because I went to a few Redbirds games this year, and each and every single Saturday night they have the free fireworks show, which I'll die on this hill. The fireworks show at Memphis Redbirds is unlike anything else you'll see all throughout. You're talking Memphis, Germantown, Carville, whatever it is. It is a great show, and they have those giveaways from time to time where they're giving away those free jerseys, trying to get people in seats. But sometimes those giveaways are not as big. There's not a huge market for it. There's a small number for what the giveaway is, and so of course you're gonna hit that mark, but that mark might just be that plus maybe 100, 200 extra people. But as far as the park itself, going out there in that little grassy field area in the back where that big hill is, where kids used to slide down the hills. I know when I was a kid, I used to do the same thing. They have the inflatables, they have the little Redbird stuff all out there for the kids to enjoy and play. So it's not like they're lacking in entertainment. I think there's just something wrong with the initial draw of wanting to go see the minor league team. And it might be that people here just don't have a familiarity with this minor league team. They don't have a familiarity with the names. Like there's no names that jump out of saying, oh, I want to go see this guy or that guy. So there could be a myriad of different things going into it. And like you said, I don't think I necessarily have a set stance on that. But shifting gears just a little bit, because we're about to run out of time here, I know with everything shaken up in the college football world as far as viewership and what now is looking like this direction moving towards super conferences, what can you tell us about college football?
Well, again, one of the things that, when the conference realignment occurred and some of the strange groupings of teams that had joined the Big Ten and the ACC as a result of the demise of the Pac-12 really created some strange travel situations, we thought. And then it's easy for those to, kind of out of sight, out of mind, it all goes away. But just came across this is one weekend in time, and it comes up this particular weekend. And this is there are 4 games in the Big Ten that go like this. Rutgers from New Jersey will play in Seattle at Washington on Saturday. Michigan is at Southern Cal. That's Detroit to Los Angeles. UCLA, Los Angeles at Michigan State going to East Lansing, Michigan. And number 7, Indiana, the Hoosiers are going to play at Oregon. listen to these travel distances. That Rutgers to Seattle trip in Washington, 2,385 miles. Wow. Michigan to USC, 1,943 miles. UCLA at Michigan State, another 1,900 miles. And the Indiana-Oregon trip is just over 1,850 miles. Now, we know they charter, now that we know that they have some time to recoup and everything else. But you're literally, in the cases of all of these games, those are Eastern time zone teams playing in the Pacific time zone or vice versa, which is a 3-hour shift. Now, you're just talking biological clocks, okay?
Yeah.
If you're playing an early game, which is a noon start in the Eastern time zone, it's 9 o'clock where you are.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're playing at 7 o'clock in Seattle and you went there from the Eastern time zone, that's 10 p.m. your time. And there have been cases of those games earlier this year. Michigan State played at Southern Cal, and the game kicked off at 11 o'clock Eastern time. So these are big challenges. These issues do drive the coaches crazy because you know how coaches are. They time everything down to the minute, not to the hour, but to the minute on these road trips and things. And, you know, it changes everything from what time the team is going to have a pregame meal to what time the actual kickoff is. And then you think about the travel. You know, guess what? It's just as far to get home when the game is finally over, right? You're beat up, banged up, and if the game did not turn out well, you are not in a good mood when you climb aboard that airplane for another 3 to 4 hour flight home. So these are challenges. You know, even in the ACC, there's a couple of interesting things, you know, where we have travel with Cal and Stanford, and both Cal and Stanford will play in the Eastern time zone 3 times each this year to play ACC games. And every time I hear it, I cannot get my head around the fact that Stanford and Cal, both in the San Francisco TV market, are playing games at North Carolina, Duke, or Clemson. I mean, it's just impossible to believe, isn't it?
In the Atlantic Coast Conference, we have 2 teams on the Pacific Coast. Make it make sense, because it doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. But to your point, Joe, I mean, we just saw this with Penn State this last week. Penn State hosting Oregon. Oregon has to travel all the way to Pennsylvania to play their whiteout game at night. And then the very next week, Penn State is traveling all the way out to California to play UCLA in a morning game all the way over there, which around the same time frame because of the time differences. But still, I mean, the travel that's within the Big Ten is just it's incredible. It's all over the place, and these super conferences they don't make any more geographical sense to me. I mean, ever since all of this shakeup started to happen, it was just all over the board. But Joe, we're about out of time here today. I appreciate you joining us. Thank you for giving us all the numbers, giving us the insight of the business of sports, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Thank you.
All right. That is our friend Joe Dank with the Business of Sports. He'll give you all the TV ratings each and every single week. And just as a reminder, in this next segment, Darian and I, we're going to be giving you our top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL right now of who's our top performers, who we think are the top 3 dogs in the NFL. And you can give us your list as well. Text us with the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line at 901-360-8255. Send in your top 3. We're going to go over these lists. We're going to get a general consensus on who we believe are the top dogs in the NFL right now. That comes your way next, right here on Wolo and Friends.
You have opinions?
I think it's over.
Of course you do.
I don't think it's that simple.
Everyone does.
I got all the answers.
Hit us up on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line at 360-8255.
Visit Frontier Western Store today for new shirts and boots. Frontier is your top Carhartt store in the Mid-South. There's thousands of in-stock shirts and jeans. They have the classic K87 pocket tee in every color they make, including new ones just released. Available small to 4X. Want new jeans? Frontier has you covered with super tough work denim by Carhartt. And you've got to check out their selection of Ariat jeans for men, women, and children. You'll love how easy it is to find the size and style you need. Have you seen Frontier's remodeled world-famous boot showroom? It continues to expand. New styles by Ariat just arrived, plus plenty of in-stock proven classics too. Whether you need work or dress boots, trust that Frontier's the place to come. See thousands of pairs of Ariat boots and thousands more by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, Twisted X, and others. And Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know just the local shop to visit. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
At Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical, we've proudly served families across the Mid-South since 1958. Still family owned and operated, we're built on tradition, trust, and old-fashioned service you can count on. And now to celebrate 68 years of service, we're offering a heating tune-up for just $68. Keep your home safe, efficient, and ready for the cold months ahead. Looking to upgrade? Right now, get up to $2,000 in instant carrier cool cash rebates, plus 60 months no interest financing on select carrier systems. That means comfort and savings today and peace of mind for years to come. But that's not all. Upgrade today and take advantage of $500 off a tankless water heater or a whole home generator installation. Even more ways to protect your home and your family. Don't wait. These special offers won't last. Call 347-8086 or visit ChoatesHVAC.com today and turn to the experts with Choates and let our family serve your family.
To NST, it's never just another case. It's your shot at getting life back on track. Real help, real heart. 35 years and still winning. NST is the way to go. Call 683-7000 or go online at nstlaw.com.
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
Take me to the pilot of your soul. Take me to the pilot, lead me to the chain. Take me to the pilot, I'm not a stranger.
Welcome back into Wolo and Friends. And right now, Darian and I are going to be giving you our top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL. But before we do that, Darian, right now in the NFL, I don't think anybody really expected or saw teams performing the way that they are. You have 2 teams from the AFC South, which is arguably one of the worst divisions in football, and that's coming from me, a Titans fan, saying that the AFC South is a really struggling division right now. You have 2 teams from there that are 4-1. This past weekend, the AFC South went 4-0 in their games, and 2 of those teams completed the 10-point comebacks, which was the most in NFL history to happen this week when it comes to comebacks in the NFL. Absolutely crazy stuff happening right now. Darren, what do you make of all of this nonsense going on?
It's the NFL, right? So
it is.
Hold on, let me put this on up here.
Yeah, man.
The way I'm looking at it, I definitely believe Indiana Jones. I'm going to put some respect on his name, who's in John's high five. Bless his heart.
High five, John.
The water, what was it, the whole saying, water finds its level? Not so on Daniel Jones. He'll finish the season with 10 interceptions, people. Trust me. Believe it. 4 is the Jacksonville deal. I've always been a Trevor Lawrence fan. You cannot come into the NFL with Andrew Luck kind of type hype and not excel at some point. Just like Dennis was just saying, the whole Urban Meyer deal. Yeah, it hurt him, but he's a grown man. That does not keep you from getting into the, your playbook, learning the system, things of that nature. Hell, Peyton Manning led the NFL in interceptions
in his
rookie season. Look at what he turned out to be. So stop blaming stuff on coaches. That whatever. That's kind of what I take of. But right now in the NFL, you got 6 teams that are 4-1. So really top heavy right now. The bottom really sucks. The top is really top heavy, and just a few in the middle.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up the coaching, because I just recently saw something where Dillon Gabriel had his first start overseas with Cleveland Browns going up against the Minnesota Vikings, and Dillon Gabriel performed fairly well.
I would say that he performed. Yeah,
he performed. I thought he did really, really good. Right now, as far as rookie QBs across the league, Cam Ward is the leader in passing yards, but that's because he has started each and every single game.
Absolutely.
Number 2 is Jackson Dart, and number 3 already is Dillon Gabriel with just over 200 yards passing.
That should tell you more about rookie performances right now.
Oh, absolutely. And that was the huge stat I was going to get to as well, is the fact that you look around the league and these rookies are performing all throughout. Right now, Cam Ward, 879 yards. Jackson Dart, 313. Dillon Gabriel, after one game, 209 yards. You look at the rookie rushing yards this season. Ashton Genty has finally exploded. He's finally come into himself. He's like Dennis had said, he's back in his stance. He's standing up. He's, it looks like he's confident. It looks like he's the dude that we saw at Boise State that nearly broke the rushing record. He's at 349 yards on the season. Quishon Judkins from the Browns, 347 yards. The dude is absolutely exploding. And I think for a lot of people, that guy kind of slipped under the radar when he came in because he was drafted by the Browns. Everybody was like, okay, well,
legal issues.
Yeah. I mean, coming from Ohio State, everybody's like, sure, he'll do great, but I don't think the hype was there. But now he's looking like one of the top dogs. Omarion Hampton, sorry that he's isn't he injured right now? I think so. I think he just got put on the injury reserve list. He's at 314 yards. I think one of the biggest breakouts right now, because I don't think anybody had expectations for him, was Ja'Cory Merritt from the Commanders. Dude has 283 yards right now, and then Cam Scadaboo at number 5, 240 yards. And I think everybody loves Cam. You watch his game, you watch how he plays. He's kind of got that Baker Mayfield mentality where he's like, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to hit you, I'm going to get the crowd fired up. Like we're gonna keep going. Him alongside Jackson Dart, both of them back there, basically borderline lunatics,
bringing a little energy to the Meadowlands.
Yeah, just a little bit of borderline lunatics saying, hey, I ain't scared of no contact. I mean, I'm sure everybody saw that video of Cam Scadaboo laying out that 285-pound lineman and standing up over him saying, look at me, big dog. I mean,
all right, man, you got a couple of minutes. Give me your list. What do you got?
Oh, yeah, that's true. I'm getting off on a rant. So,
hey, man, we got you.
No. You go first.
All right.
And then I'll go.
So what was the question? Ask the question.
Top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
I'm going to add, and for me, I'm going to add this one little phrase: versus expectation.
Okay.
And I'll give you my what does Brian call his little one-offs?
OLI.
Yeah, the OLI.
I call it. It's an honorable mention. Okay.
Okay. So quickly, my honorable mention is in versus expectation. Number 6, Drake May. Number 5, Aaron Rodgers, and number 4, Baker Mayfield. Those are all 3 versus expectation, because who thought Drake May would do anything? Aaron Rodgers, you were kind of like, and Baker Mayfield is, has he really found a home? So number 3, Daniel Jones versus expectation. Daniel Jones had the worst expectations throughout the whole season.
No, everybody thought the Colts were condemned from the start of the season.
Absolutely. Number 2, Jared Goff. Versus expectation not versus expectation, you have to put some respect on his name. And with versus expectation or not, Josh Allen. It's like, can you back this MVP season up with another? And he's doing so.
Okay. We share 2 of those. My number 3.
Because you didn't do yours versus expectation.
Right. My number 3, I'm going to have to give it to Josh Allen. He's still doing really well. And, of course, that game versus New England, you can say their first 4 wins were against really bad opponents, and that they went out there and they did the job that they were supposed to do. Josh Allen still looks really good. He's still a dual threat QB. He's still going out there doing his job. My number 2 right now, he's high in the MVP voting. Dennis didn't believe in him. I know he's going to have a drop-off at some point, but it's got to be Daniel Jones. And my number one, this guy is timeless, and he is defying time right now, and that is Matthew Stafford. He leads the league in passing yards. He is a touchdown machine, 11 TDs, 2 interceptions. The guy looks great. Puka Nacua is his go-to guy, who is my favorite right now for definitely Offensive Player of the Year, and I don't think it's even close. But those are our top 3. NFL looks really, really good right now, but we're going to wrap things up. Don't go anywhere. Right next, we mentioned it earlier, we're going to have Johnny Radio Happy Hour coming your way next. He's going to help you with maybe some gambling. You're going to talk some baseball. We're going to talk just a myriad of different things with Johnny Radio.
Hey, you'll be on, right?
I will be here.
Absolutely.
I'll still be here. We're going to talk some Memphis wrestling with Dustin Starr, the man who has everybody's job in Memphis. I mean, if you have a job, hold on to it. You may not have it for long. Dustin's coming for you. But that is all the time we have for On Wolo and Friends. And don't forget, like always, my friends, it's going to be a good day.
Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Available locally on your radio dial as well as around the world online at Sports 56 WH.